Today we're speedrunning through Angry Birds Go, the game where Angry Birds can drive cars. I don't really know how since they don't have hands, but that doesn't really matter because we're going to be playing through each and every single one of the maps. Now we start out with the first Seedway map where we're going to race against these people, and I can start my timer as soon as Go shows up. And then right away we're just going to start racing using my boost to get some extra speed and try not to crash, which is way harder than it sounds. Because the thing about Angry Birds Go is the controls aren't really the greatest in the world. I mean, it is a mobile racing game, what do you really expect? But we made it through the first level. It was also probably the easiest level, and we can move on to the second one of Seedway, which is going to be 2-1. Now one thing you might notice is we are skipping some of the levels as we go through, and the reasoning behind that is because a lot of these levels in the story mode are just duplicates of each other, and obviously I'm not really trying to do duplicates. There's no real reason to do that, so we can just skip through them and instead just do all the levels and pick which missions we want to do for those. So we'll just make it to the end of this one, crash a little bit, it happens. I mean, it's just Angry Birds Go, and we'll finish out the level right there. So yeah, another pretty easy level, but we're about to get to a much harder area because we're going to the air. And every time you switch one of your areas, you also switch cars. So now we have a car that can fly. So you can see we're going right here, and yeah, we're just flying in the sky. I don't really know how, given the wings on this car are very small, but I guess it doesn't really matter because, I mean, it's Angry Birds. You don't really have to ask that many questions about it. Also, what is happening? Okay, yeah, sometimes the game does that, but as long as we can keep most of our momentum, we should be good for the speed run. All I have to do is finish it out right around here, and yeah, we'll make it to the goal. That's going to be another level done, which leads us on to one of my favorite levels in the entire game, because this is the only one where we're going to use a really cool glitch on. Now we're going to wind up our guy right here and make sure he actually gets the wind up and the go, because we want to have good control over our car so we can do this glitch. Now what I'm going to do right here is I bounce off this right there, and then I rotate my guy left and right, and I do this for a while, so I'm going to stay in the air, and I just have to do it right. Thank you very much. I can use my boost right there, and as you can see, we're ahead of Matilda right now. For some reason, this activates the end of the level and gives us a first place. I don't really know how it works, but it does, so I'm not going to complain. And yeah, now we're on to another one, which we're back to just some normal races, having to go fast on our own. I still don't know how that oversight even happened. It was probably like some testing thing that they left in the game. They were like, no one's ever going to try this, and all speedrunners love when developers say that. But for this one, it's going to be our last air level, so I'm just trying not to hit my head, or sometimes I even hit it and just nothing happens. Yeah, the collision in this game is really weird. Some of these things just don't have a collision box, which is probably a good thing because the flying in this game is very jank. Like, you cannot control yourself too well in it. But hey, we'll make our way through, making sure to use our boost as much as possible, and I believe we're about at the end of the level. All we have to do is make it to the end, and there we go. That's going to be the flying area. Now we only have 3 more, and 9 more levels within those 3 more areas. So we're going to go back to 3, and we're going to do 3-3 for this one. And now we're in the sub-zero levels, which as you can see, it's snowy areas, which this area is weird because it definitely feels more slippery. And that kind of sucks because the entire game kind of feels slippery. So we have to deal with that tenfold. Hooray for me trying to race on snow. I feel like these are not the best conditions to try to race on, but I mean, what's the worst that can happen besides our deaths? But I guess we're Angry Birds. We literally throw ourselves into explosions all the time, so I don't think they're too afraid of death. Anyway, we're just going to be going through, and these starting levels aren't even that hard. You can see how far away my opponents are from me, and the reasoning behind that is I have the best car with the best upgrades. And because I'm playing some of the earlier levels, they just don't even have a chance. It's kind of sad actually, but I'm not going to stop for them. I'm trying to speedrun. I don't have time to care about your feelings. Now in this one, since we're in the next world, oh, that's also going to happen. Yeah, because we didn't wait for the 3, 2, 1 countdown, we can't control ourselves for the first little bit. So sometimes you run into things, but luckily for us, the resetting system is really quick in this game, so it doesn't really matter too much. But now we're going to make our way through. Try not to hit those areas because it does make some really weird stuff happen. But yeah, other than that, it's just another snowy level. We're just going through. You can barely even see the screen because of all this fog, but it's still a really cool looking level. One thing that Angry Birds Go definitely has going for it is how cool the levels look. They actually put a good amount of time into this game, even if it doesn't have the greatest racing abilities. At least it's colorful and nice to look at. And there we go. We finished another level. Only one more that we have to do for Sub-Zero, and then we can move on to Rocky Road. I mean, I'm hyping it up. It's pretty much just another snow level, but I do really like the colors in this level, especially the purple. Like, the purple looks so nice. The nighttime sky. Oh, I love some things about this game. It is very easily a cash grab game, but you gotta admit, it's not the worst cash grab I've ever seen in my life. Now we'll just be going through, and I mean, it's a pretty simple ice level, but hey, we're pretty much done with the level already. All we have to do is make it through the snow. This was a very straightforward level. level. And hey, I guess we're in like a city now. I don't really know what this area is, and these buildings look way too big for my birds. I do wonder if there is lore for Angry Birds Go, though. That would be kind of hilarious. But anyway, it's time for the rocky road levels, and that just means they're like rocks, I guess. Yeah, I know I just said the most obvious thing in my life. But actually, now that I'm thinking about it, I guess the difference between these levels is it's a rougher terrain. There are going to be more bumps, there are going to be more hard things you have to get through, and yeah, we're pretty much just going to try to survive. I mean, pretty much like the rest of this game. Oh, we also have some pigs watching in the background, jumping around. I don't know why they're cheering for the birds. That's kind of weird, but I guess we became friends. I mean, in Mario Kart, Mario and Bowser can come together, so I guess it makes sense for the Angry Birds series too. But now we'll move on to the second one, where we're going to face off against the 3 bluebirds. And these guys aren't the best in the world. They do try their best, but I mean, 1 head is better than 3. I'm pretty sure. At least when the 3 other brains are kind of stupid. Anyway, we're just going to use our boost. I'm pretty sure this map is not the hardest in the world. The rocky ones in general really aren't, because there isn't too much you can run into. A thing that some of the other maps have going for them is they have really tight turns, which actually, now that I'm thinking about it, isn't something they have going for them. That's actually kind of like one of the worst parts about those maps. But this one's really cool because it's an open area which you can just race through. And even though the maps aren't the largest in the world, it's still a pretty fun time. Now we just have one more jump that we have to make it through. We see all the pigs that I feel like are going to try to eat me after this race. And hey, that's going to be one more rocky level out of the way. And that will also be just when we pass the 10-minute mark. So I'm hoping I can get the sub 15 for this run. Now we have another pretty general level where we're just racing through the rocks. But this time we have blue rocks. So I mean, that's pretty cool. I'm sorry, this is pretty much the most insightful commentary I could give about this game sometimes. There's not too much going on, but just you wait, because the next few levels are probably the most insane levels of the game. So we just have to make it through one more boring race, and then we get on to the good part. But yeah, we'll just make it through. I actually do like the visuals of this map as well. It's nice and bright and colorful, you know, just what you really expect from one of these games. If you're gonna make a cash grab, at least make it appealing to watch. But there we go, that is going to be another one of those done. We just slowly made our way through, and we can finally finish it out in the area that are called the trick levels. I don't really know why they're called that, but we have a brand new car, and this is by far the fastest car out of all of them. It also makes you really close up to the car, but this is why it's so appealing, because I am going to crash a lot. There's not too much I can do about that. The car is definitely the hardest to control in the entire game, especially when I use my boost as well. It just makes this entire game crazy. Please do not get on your side. You're gonna die, dude. But I'm not afraid of death. I'm just trying to make it to the end for my family or something. I actually don't know the reason we're doing this. Maybe to show off the pigs and just show I'm better than them. Also, what is going... Okay, yep. Yeah, this is why these maps are so exciting. You just never know what's going on in them. But you do know you're having a pretty good time because it is just such a ridiculous game. Anyway, though, we have another tiny little corridor before we make it to the end. And yeah, that's going to be one of the levels. Only 2 more that we have to complete. It's even going to ask me to retry it because it wasn't the greatest thing in the world. But I'll be honest, these levels are probably the hardest to get all stars on. Because like I said, you can't really control your car. I don't know if anybody can control their car because like, what are you supposed to do for this thing? I'm just trying to drive, dude. You don't have to crash so many times. Why did I decide to do this race? Is this all for my pride at this point? Because I don't know if my pride is worth my life. Maybe it's worth a really cool YouTube video though. So you know what? Keep going, Redbird. But we're going to be making our way through. We finally have kind of a straight path, which is a nice little break from all the crashes. But don't worry, because we're going to go back to very many more crashes again. Okay, this is just kind of ridiculous. Am I driving backwards? What is going on? I don't even know what to say anymore. What is going on? I just love these trick levels so much. I told you it was worth the wait, but there we go. Only one more map we have to do. And yeah, we're just having a great time at this point. And half a start. That is how much I got for that race. I thought I did a pretty good job. But for this last one, we're just going to start it out like usual, where we don't have a good start at all. And now we're just like in some mining system or something like that. We're going to use our boost, which is going to help us go all the way forward. And I'm not even on the ground. This game is not working for me anymore. Okay, just stay on the ground. Make sure you can keep your turns. Do everything you need to do, man. It will not be that hard. Do not hit that. Come on, Redbird. I really want to get the sub 15. I don't even know if it's possible anymore. Honestly, I don't think it is, but we will try our best. We also see a nice waterfall, so we're going to be at that soon. Okay, what is happening with this camera? I think my favorite part about these trick races is the camera just gets all over the place. Okay, we're going to get in a couple more crashes. We just missed the sub 15, but we're about to make it to the end. I have no more boosts, unfortunately, though. But hey, that is is going to be time as soon as we cross the finish line, and there we go, 15:23. Yeah, I'm gonna take that half star, and I'm gonna take it with pride. But hey, guess what? We just got a first place. I mean, no one else has ever done the category, but I'm still gonna take it. And the funny thing is we also got first place on the stunt levels, because I was also the only person who's ever done those. Yeah, I just love my easy first places. And now I can finally go cry because I spent about $200 to get to the point where I could speedrun this game. Please subscribe if you enjoyed.